All right, been a couple days, missed you a couple times. Sorry about that. Uh, Wild and Willie Wordsmith here. WildandWillieWordsmith.com, BarbaraAllen.wordpress.com. It is the 17th of April, I believe. Um, Missed a couple days, but I was. Hey, we were finishing up with being sick because yes, we were all infected. And hey, you know what? I screened in the porch, so I wasn't doing nothing. Anyway, got busy for a couple days, but I'm back. So I don't know, 23, 24, God knows what number, who cares? There are no rules. It's pandemic time. No rules. Trust me. I seen it on the road the other day when we finally busted out to go get some groceries. But anyhow, so first the president wants to say he's King Trump. Then he wants to say it's up to him when the nation opens up. And he gets a little pushback on that, and he decides he's just going to okay whatever the governors say. It's like he just keeps floating atrocities to see what's going to stick and what he's going to get pushback on. If he doesn't get pushback, he keeps going. If he gets pushback, I mean, it's kind of been his modus operandi, so I'm not too shocked. Now, the threat to adjourn both houses of Congress so he can force through his own appointments. Holy crap, man. Ridiculous. And to say he's going to do it, and he's going to do it using the COVID emergency, but he's going to do it using the COVID emergency to do something else which has nothing to do with the COVID emergency, which is he's doing it for the express purpose to make recess appointments that don't need to be passed by the normal channels. Now, though there might be one or two positions that he might deem integral to getting things going on the COVID response, it's not enough to justify being able to replace everybody he wants to replace without asking. There's no fucking way. And here's the other part about it is, this is one of those cases where he had no intention of doing it, okay? Or he's really, really dumb. And I love to talk about how stupid he is, but he's not that stupid, and certainly not everybody around him is that stupid. Because, see, it's one of those cases, it's kind of like when you say you're the at-will employee thing, okay, where the employer has the right to fire you for no reason at all. And in fact, no reason at all is the safest answer they can give. Because as soon as they actually start to detail why they're going to fire you, they open themselves up to lawsuit and interpretations of rules, etc., etc. So they're better served just saying, it didn't work. That's how they get away with firing people they don't like, or that aren't getting along, or that are just really lazy, or just, the nuisance firing. The nuisance firing is how, when you do a nuisance fire, you just write down, it wasn't working out. No reason. Okay? And by doing that, you avoid saying, I did it because I fired him because he's a racist. Or I fired him because he had bad body odor. Because if it's bad body odor and maybe he's got a medical excuse, maybe now you've got to hire him back and maybe he sues you for embarrassing him. But if you just let him go because it wasn't working out, it doesn't matter what your reason was. That's how an employee can fire you, because that's how they can punish you. As that they can fire you as as retribution. It's fully legal as long as they don't give the reason of retribution. And that's where Trump screwed up here, okay? Because he could fully justify doing this if he sold it only on the idea that he must get this pandemic team, a narrow band, little group, something specifically about the pandemic. These things have to be done. He could probably get away with it. It is a bona fide emergency, which at least gets him in the ballpark for justification. But as soon as he went beyond the emergency to explain what he was actually going to do with it, it's one of those circumstances where you, at least in my experience, you know damn well they're not going to do it because they don't want to go to jail. That's a telegraphed punch. Okay, that's standing there going, I'm going to hit you with a left, I'm going to hit you with a left, and then getting pissed off because you swung the left and they blocked it. Okay, that's like threatening to kill somebody, then doing it, and being shocked that the cops got you for premeditated murder as opposed to just murder. They know you said you were going to do it, then you went and did it. You can't say it was an accidental murder at that point. Okay? If you say, I'm going to run you over with my car and then run somebody over with the car, you can't get away with accidentally hitting him with your car. You stated it was your intention. Okay? So had he just said, yes, we're going to suspend both houses because of until the end of this pandemic and blah, 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 so processes can move more smoothly, there'd be a fight in court and there'd be some uproar, but at least he might have a legal leg to stand on. As soon as he went down the list of the violations and the twisting of the law that he was going to do with it, he basically said he's not doing it. He's just ginning up the base. He's just making, he's owning libs. That's what he's doing. He's owning libs. Okay? And now he comes out, after saying he's going to do it himself, he comes out and gives these new guidelines where he's going to let the governors do it themselves. And we've got some guidelines, 14 days this, 14 days that. And as soon as he's finished telling everybody, we've pretty much got to go at least 14 more days because nobody's had cases going down for 14 days straight. So we certainly can't open tomorrow, right? But Florida's opening beaches tomorrow. Dumbasses. Now that the president has said anybody that wants to, because basically by doing this and putting in there that cities and counties and what have you can make their own decisions, he's undermining the decisions of governors. Okay, because mayors and city officials are going to interpret Trump's words as saying that they have a right to open outside of what their governor says. Okay, and if that's not bad enough, then he goes on Twitter and continues with liberate Minnesota, liberate Michigan, liberate. I mean, wow, liberate Virginia, all states who are still deep in the throes of this. Okay, now had he listed off a couple of the states that only have a handful of cases so far, that are so remote and so sparse that they really haven't gotten there yet, had he said liberate those places, that that would still be moronic, but it would make sense, especially if they were, red states, his supporters. To get, support your governor in loosening the restrictions as soon as he can. I know you guys want to go back to work. That would make sense. But no, he is implicitly, not even implicitly, he is absolutely bald-facedly saying, go after these Democrat governors that have done this to you. Rise up against your Democratic governors, your Democratic mayors, your Democratic officials that have figured out what to do the best for your municipality, for your zip code, for your freaking state. And he's literally invited them to rise up. Okay, this is a president that is now actively fomenting rebellion and dissent and disobedience to elected state officials. Are you hearing me? He's not telling them just to defy the state people, okay? They will be defying federal orders and federal officers at the same time. He is literally telling people to defy his own orders. That it doesn't matter what I'm saying right now, you know what I want you to do, kind of thing. Now, I'm sorry, I believe somebody was bandying about that term wartime president a while back. Well, if this was wartime, and one of my generals, or maybe my lead general, was turning around to all of these troops that are fighting this battle and was telling them to attack their sub-commanders, to attack their captains and colonels and sergeants and such, I'm pretty sure that would be something that would not require a judge and jury, even a military one. That would be something whose criminal punishment, whose punishment for the crime, would probably be a summary. It would be summarily taken care of. It would be a summary judgment. There would be no judge. There would be no lawyers. There would be no jury. Well, there would be a judge. There would be the commanding officer. And the commanding officer would say what was going to happen. And if it's the commanding officer doing it, then the person that's relieved that commanding officer of duty, which is their obligation, would be the one to render summary judgment, and to execute that judgment thereof. This is beyond impeachable offense. He's already claimed he's a wartime president, and now he's going out and fomenting dissent amongst the troops, asking them to actively engage in mutiny. 25th Amendment, anyone? This is Barbary Allen, your Wild and Woolly Wordsmith, wildandwoollywordsmith.com, barbaryallen.wordpress.com. See you next time.